Welcome to the Blessed Mindset Matters podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Raquel Tosin, and we are broadcasting on WYTV7 Community Broadcasters Network, where we educate, empower, and encourage. Now, if you have been educated, empowered, or encouraged while you have been listening to the Blessed podcast, I need you to go to www.wytv7.org, hit the green donate button. $5, $10, $50, whatever you can spare. It is a tax write-off, which we'll be talking about later. It's a tax write-off, and it'll keep us on the air so we can keep doing what we do. And we also send kids to college and we feed families. So your money is going in a great place. All right. So guys, this is the year of the family. It is April and we are talking about money. April is financial education, financial literacy, with education, same thing, right? Financial literacy month. And I like to call it April showers of blessings or showers of money because, we let it rain, right? Let it rain, let it rain. Okay. I have with us since April is also synonymous with taxes. And really, you can't talk about money without talking about taxes. So I have invited attorney Lakita Foster to join us today. Welcome, Lakita.
Thank you, Dr. Raquel and WYTV.
All right. I'm so happy that you are here. Now, let me tell y'all know I love bringing people I know on. I met Lakita I just met her, so I really don't know her. I met her at a money event, though, at an event where we were learning about money. And we got to talking, and I said, oh, I've been looking for somebody to talk about taxes. So it was just a blessing. That's why you have to go where God say go, because he gives you what you need when you need it. Okay. And yes, I just have to point out that you are HBCU grad from Florida, or HBCU Florida grad. I am too. I went to Florida A&M.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, I went to Florida Memorial University down in Miami. So yes, I know I've been there plenty of times.
Up and
plenty
down,
of road trips
up in Miami. Yeah, because we used to go down to Miami all the time too when I was in college. So it's so interesting, like when you meet people and you find that you have connections that you didn't even know you had, right?
They always say it's a small world. Yes,
it's a small world after all, right? But how did you get into taxes? So I know y'all probably like, well, tell us more about her. Listen, we got to get into it. Taxes is important. I want to know how you got into taxes.
Well, going through law school, it was definitely a class offered. And when I saw that, I just had to jump on it. Taxes is something, they say you're going to pay taxes and die. Those two things are certain. So why not learn it? I had to learn the in and outs of something that everyone has to deal with while they're here. Mm-hmm. If you come here, if you make money, you have to pay taxes, no question about it. So that was the reason for me first getting into it and wanting to just learn as much as I could.
Okay. So because you are a lawyer, you're a tax lawyer, but you also help people do their taxes. So you're Correct. Not just a person that will go to court with them if they get audited by the IRS. You actually help them before that to keep them from getting audited by the IRS. So Correct. What made you start doing that?
Well, a lot of people, they don't know what they don't know. So, as soon as possible, it's good to find someone that can help you navigate the tax world. It's really just a separate type of world. So I actually started, my love and learn for taxes. I worked with Intuit for a few years. And so in that realm, I was helping people on the phone through their taxes, and you come across a lot of people that just wants to learn more about it as well. You know, they don't need to know everything, but just certain things leaning toward their situations. And so, you know, something else that I'll talk about later, if you do it for someone else, you can learn to do it for yourself. And that's how I started my side business with the taxes and helping others do their taxes and prepare taxes as well.
Yeah, that's so funny because all right, I just got finished doing my taxes. Now it's something that my mother taught me a long time ago because she was like, "Look, we're not gonna pay anybody. We don't make enough money to be paying somebody to do our taxes." Because I know people who have like the simple taxes, like
Yeah.
simple taxes, and they go and pay somebody for the simple taxes. Which I mean, that's fine, but I'm talking about the simple taxes, you know. And I'm like, it's not that difficult. I even taught my son, and like, but when do we like at how much money or when should we really hire somebody to do our taxes?
Well, the tax laws change every year.
Hmm.
So even if you have the basic understanding and know how to do your taxes, and because, you know, don't get me wrong, the self preparation software out there is very user friendly and intuitive. And, you know, if you can do it, I definitely encourage people to do it. But there's definitely nothing wrong with just having someone that you can call. Hey, I saw that, you know, they changed this, or I saw something about this. Could you elaborate? How would this help me? Or how would this benefit me? Or how would this hurt me this year? So,
Hmm.
you know, it really, it's never too early. If you know, if, outside of that simple, all I have is a W-2. I just work my one job, or I work my two jobs, and that's it. I do nothing else, you know, and you feel comfortable doing those, hey, go right ahead and do it. But the moment you start making money, investing in different things, stocks, crypto, it's it's really beneficial to at least have someone that you can call once or twice a year to say, hey, what does this mean and how does this affect me?
Oh, that's so good. So you, even if you didn't do somebody's taxes, you allow people to call you, and like, do you have a fee that you charge people to, to call you to ask you questions? Like, how do you do that?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You know, I do charge a consultation fee, and it can be an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I do it in 30-minute increments. And, you know, come with all your questions and just get them all knocked out the way in one at one time. And, you know, something I can always send follow-up information. I love when people want to learn more about wanting to know how this works and how it benefits them. So, you know, not just to answer questions, but to say, hey, here's some reading material or something you can go back to and refer to later if, you know, anything ever gets foggy. We can, you know,
Okay.
definitely learn and grow together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna tell you, everybody know I love to share my own information, but I'm not gonna say the name of the software, but they also have a company. I don't know if they told what who they are, but and they had a thing where you can pay to have the person after you do your taxes, that person looks over them. So I did that like a couple of times, and they didn't change nothing. And I was like, so what I thought that meant was I'm pretty good. You got it, girl. But what they don't really have when you have those systems is a way for me to call people and actually have a conversation even before and just talk about some things to prepare for even next year. I would love that kind of thing. So you offering that to people, I mean, for a consultation fee, but I can all the questions that I have to get me prepared for the next year, and that's it, people. Let me just tell y'all, don't wait till April to start getting your stuff ready for taxes. Don't do it. I'm talking to me, but no, not me, because I didn't wait till April. I waited till February to get my stuff together, but that's still, guess what? Too late. Because what we have to do is, and you can tell me if I'm right, what we need to do really is every quarter, if not every month, gather our stuff together and make sure it's all in one little thing. If we putting it in a system, if we putting it in a file folder, but make sure we gather all our stuff so when it's time to get our taxes done, we don't have to go and look for stuff. We don't have to go and how many miles did I drive last for the whole year? It's like really, and
Yes.
then I tell people I'm like, cause I do somebody's I do other people's taxes. I'm not I It's not my but old people when they like over 70 and they like, can you do my taxes, please? You can't say no. But I'm like, you got all your stuff together? So they always get it. I was like, I'm not coming over there until you get all your stuff.
Everything together. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So what do you suggest to people about that?
Now, depending on your situation, there are, like they said, there's an app for everything. There's an app for everything. So find the right app for you. There's a lot of free apps out there, maybe a little minimal cost, but find the right app for you. Even if it's personal budgeting app or another type of app to capture or help capture all of your expenses. And this is talking if you work for yourself or if you have a small business. So just finding the right app, and yes, every month find a day, put it on your calendar to sit down and what people like to call it, reconcile your books. And you might have to, if that's sitting down and saying, oh, that was my personal expense, oh, that was a business expense, go through and record everything. Because like you said, it's easier to do on a monthly basis than all at the end of the year scrambling at tax time.
Right. And that's why, and like y'all know, every month would be best. But if you don't do it every month, please at least do it quarterly, because what you don't want to do is wait to the last minute, because your mind, maybe I'm just talking about me because I'm 52 and sometimes I forget stuff. If I don't write it down, if I can't take care of it right away, it might slip my mind. So I may not remember. So really, we need to stay on top of that. And before we go to break, tell everybody, because we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some, the things that you need to kind of maybe do to help you with taxes. But if you don't pay your taxes on time, if you mess up your taxes, if you lie, you whatever, what can happen to people if they mess up on their taxes?
Number one, you can always fix it. If you mess up, know that you can always fix it. Okay. And that would be number one. Okay. Know you can fix it and actually fix it. There's never a mistake so dire or so big that it can't be rectified. Okay. Never, people have come to me that haven't done their taxes in 10 years. Ooh. It's okay. But know that you have to fix it. You would rather fix it than the government fix it. Right. So be proactive.
So wait a minute, real quick, 10 years, there's a lot of penalties, right? For not doing it.
There are a lot of penalties. The penalty clock starts to run on tax day of that year. So, however, there are different ways, or the IRS offers you different plans or different alternatives when you have tax bills. So again, okay. It's not the end. It can be fixed, but it is something that you want to be proactive about.
And they probably, at that point, definitely want to hire a tax attorney at that time. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Y'all, we got to take our quick break, but y'all know y'all better not leave. Y'all got to stay, because we are going to get into how you can save on taxes, because we want to get like, well, I don't know if I want to get like Donald Trump and pay no taxes, because I want my roads fixed. So I don't mind paying some taxes, but we do want to get to the point where we're not giving more than what we have to. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. I'm Dr. Raquel Tolson, host of Blessed Mindset Matters. Is your mind on your money? Are you ready to be more intentional with your money? Then get my free booklet, Mind on My Money, Plan, Pocket, Protect. In this booklet, I offer you practical suggestions on planning intentionally, pocketing wisely, and protecting your money. Get the booklet at www.rakeltolson.com. That's RAYKELTOLSON. Get your free copy today. And we're back. Oh my gosh, I hope you are getting something from Attorney Lakita. Oh, I am excited. I am so excited. Now, we talked about somebody not doing their taxes for 10 years, which I'm like, what in the world? Who would do that? So when we know that they definitely would need to contact you, and so they can be proactive because they don't want to wait till the government calls their name. Okay, so, but give us some, I don't know how many, because we got 15 minutes. I want as many as possible, but give us like 5. Give us 5 things that could keep our tax bill down a tad bit.
5 things that can keep your tax bill down. Okay. So one, the biggest one, is to have a side business.
Oh.
Yes. That's
the biggest one.
That's number one.
Wow. I hope y'all hearing that.
Number one that any and everybody can do is have a side business. Number 2.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We got to go back to side business real quick. So now, if you have a side business, you need to have a business that you're actually making money, or because I know that they'll call it a hobby after a certain amount of years and you haven't made any money.
Correct. You should be making money. However, the first couple of years, you're not really expected to have a lot of income or profit. Yes. Right. But at the end of the day, yes, you should have some kind of income if it's a side business.
So I just want to put out there for people, when you're thinking about a side business, you got to be careful about picking something that you're not going to actually work at. Hear what I'm saying. You can pick any side business, right? But if you don't actually work, you won't make any money. You have to work. If you're going to be a Mary Kay rep, you need to be doing facial parties. You need to be out there selling. If you're going to sell life insurance, you need to be calling everybody, asking them if they got a life insurance policy. Whatever you're going to do, you have to work. You got a couple of years to not do a profit, where you can learn the business, where you can go to all of these things. But at some point, you have to work. If you're writing books, you got to go out there and sell some books. Okay. I had to throw that out, because a lot of people think, oh, I got a side business, but they're not doing no work.
Correct. No, you have to work, and it has to make money.
Right. Okay. And what's number 2?
Number 2, a lot of people might not be into, have some kids.
That's a good one though, right?
Have some kids. Unfortunately, if you are just a W-2 earner and nothing else, taxes, you're not going to benefit. You're going to get very little back. It's no way around that, unless you go to number 1 or jump to number 2.
So wait a minute now. Y'all know I gotta talk about it, because I'm not gonna have no kids. I'm 52. I can't have no kids. I don't want no little kids running around my house. But what about if I'm taking care of somebody? Because like, what if I got grandkids and I'm taking care of? Do I get to use them on my taxes, or do their parents? Only the parents can use them because even though I'm paying for them.
So there has to be an agreement of who will claim the child, but normally the IRS looks to where the child lived most of the time out the year.
Okay. Okay. So it's about where the child lives, unless it's like a mother and a father who are divorced, and the mother may keep the kids, but they take turns who gets to.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
Unless it's
Yes.
something like that. But yeah, most of
Right.
the time, if there was ever a question, the IRS will ask where did the kids live most of the time. Now,
And
if you
foster
are
kids. Mm-hmm.
yes, now if you are fostering kids, you can claim those children for the year as you are taking care of them.
Even if you're getting money, because in the foster parents they get money for the kids, but they can also claim them.
Correct, because you will, and there will be a place where they ask you, how much support are you receiving for this child?
Okay. Okay. So you have to. They like you got to claim your what you're getting for them, but you get to write
Yes,
them.
but if you're taking care of those kids, you are able to claim them on your taxes.
Okay, so for grandparents out there, you cannot claim your grandkids unless they live with you. Just because you spending all your money on them kids, that's not enough. You got to have them living with you for the IRS not to come knocking on your door for your. I just know a lot of grandparents that give up a lot of money to their grandkids, but it's not enough. You got to have them living with you. So stop giving all that money. Anyway, what's the next one? Number 3.
Okay, the next one, it may not give you, and it depends on how much you're spending, but if you own a home.
Okay.
If you own a home, it used to just anybody flatline owning a home used to get you there. However, tax law changes. Now what used to count doesn't count. As much as used to count doesn't count. So
Is
at one
why my
point,
taxes? That's why I've been paying more.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those tax law changes that come along every few years, you might want to pick up the phone and say, hey, what is this? How is this going to affect my bottom line at the end of the year?
Hmm. Okay. So, but a house will still give you some, and because if you're paying a mortgage, if your taxes, you get the property taxes, right? They
Correct.
count those. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And if they, like I said, it all depends. This could be one, this might not be one, because depending on the type of home you have, you might not be paying enough property taxes to take you out of paying the standard deduction to the itemized deduction.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because they did increase the standard deduction. So now if it doesn't go over that, then you really won't be using it.
Correct.
Oh, that's okay. That's real good. That's good information. Okay.
Not sure what number we're on, but another one.
I think we're on number 4.
Okay. Number 4, something else that could help you is if you're a student. If you're a student, the first 4 years, you are allowed the lifetime learning credit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. When my son.
You know what? There's another credit actually that'll take you for the first 4 years, and the lifetime learning is the second after that, continuing learning classes when you go back to school. So if you're a student, you have to be pursuing a degree.
A degree. Okay.
Yes.
Not just going to workshops, y'all. Yeah, you got because when we talk about, oh, wait a minute, owning a business, we get to write off going to workshops because it is education, but it's not going toward a degree, but it's education for our business.
And that's why it's beneficial.
If you don't have a business, you can't use those workshops. Correct. Oh my goodness, isn't that interesting?
Yes.
That's why number 1 is
Have a
Have
business.
a side business.
Yes.
Or have a business anyway. Just have a business. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5. If you if you make there's really nothing else I can really think of down the line that can just help you save right offhand
Mhm.
um on your tax liability, unless you make if you make money from investments, or you're making money from businesses. Hey, send the government some money every once in a while during the year.
Oh, I know. So I know one, saving money in an IRA.
Ah,
Saving
yes,
money
you
in
know
an
what?
IRA. That's
I
number 5.
That
Because,
is
and you
number
don't have to do
5.
it, and you wouldn't have to do it the year before. You can do it up until April. So
I
if
You
you
know
say, if
what?
you see that you owe money, and you like, I owe $1,000 to the government. You know what you can do? You can, instead of giving the government that $1,000, you can put $1,000 in your IRA, and now you don't owe the government nothing.
Correct.
Right.
However,
Uh-oh.
there's always a however.
Uh-oh.
There are income limitations. So if
Okay.
you make too much
Oh.
money, you won't get a deduction.
Oh man, for y'all people that make a lot of money, it's a blessing, but oh.
Yes.
So these are the reasons why we have to have somebody like you that we can call and have, and ask a lot of these questions. But because we have a little bit more time, I just really want to reiterate some of the things when you have a side business, how we talked about if you go to workshops, when you're doing these things and you're not trying to get a degree, but you are trying to learn some stuff, you get to write it off. And business trips, you have to be careful though about just calling because you went out of town to be with your family and you go, I call it a business trip because y'all sit at the dinner table and you talk a little bit about it. That might be a little tricky. You probably want to call Lakita and ask her how, because I just know that business trips can be tricky, and then as far as like when you go out to eat, you can't use all of it, and yeah, so it's a
So
lot to it, right?
yes, and again, going back to those tax law changes. So right now, in order to stimulate the economy, the IRS has allowed you to take 100% of your meals, business meals.
Really?
Yes, for 2021 and 2022. So for
Really?
the rest of this year, you have business meals, potential clients, current clients, um, business
A hundred
partners,
percent. So
a
this
hundred,
year,
100%.
wow. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad we talked because I'm gonna start taking people out and when I'm ready to talk to them about life insurance because I get to write it off. So I can
Yes,
take
ma'am.
them to dinner and have conversations as opposed now that the city has opened back up now that COVID is not as scary to people, but we can go to restaurants and we can do that stuff. So now I know that this is a good time for me to go because I get to write off the 100%. That is, oh, I'm so glad we had this chat. So, what about if you're disabled? Are there some different tax breaks for disabled people?
So yes, if you are receiving disability, I believe the main thing that I would say is just be mindful of the amount of money you make.
Hmm.
You know that after a certain amount, things become taxable. They
Hmm.
may look at that and say, "Oh, you're making more money now, so cut some other things back." So um, I would definitely be mindful of that when talking about disability.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This conversation is so good. I really appreciate you coming and sharing all this knowledge. So I do have another question because if if I was say a disabled person and I'm really not supposed to make a lot of money, but what if I formed a nonprofit and the nonprofit gave me just a little bit that wouldn't take me over, but the rest of the money is in the nonprofit, but in a nonprofit you're not supposed to have profit at the end. You have to, don't you have to, like, you can't have the rest of the money in there if you didn't, so what do you have to do?
That would be a consultation call.
Oh no, that one you're gonna have to get.
That would be a consultation call.
Because it's probably a lot in it, but I'm just letting people out there know that there are ways that you can get around stuff. Even having a corporation and letting the money go to the corporation and you get a paycheck, so you don't have to pay on that. But you do need an attorney or the tax person to help you manage that whole all of that, because it's a lot, but it's stuff that can be done. It's a lot of stuff. So we're not telling people, hey, don't try to make a lot of money. No, if God is blessing you to make the money, make the money.
Make that
But
money.
you guys have to go and contact Lakita Foster. Give them your phone number or your email so if they want to contact you.
Yes, I can be reached at info.tbrllc at gmail.com. Yes, I have so many emails on my phone. Yes, yes. That's the quickest way to contact me about any tax questions, situations, or if you'd like to set up a consultation.
You have been a wonderful guest. We might have to bring you back every year so we can just kind of chat, because there's gonna be news, laws, and all that stuff. Girl, you just helped me. I'm about to start making appointments to go out to eat though. Hey guys, I hope this has been great for you. I hope you have learned some stuff. Remember, this is what we do. We educate. This is what we do. That's why we need you to go hit that donate button. Until next week, be blessed. Oh, wait a minute. We won't be here next week because it's Easter. So we're going to take a week break. We will be back the week after Easter. So until 2 weeks from now, be blessed.